So on my second channel, we uploaded a video where I watched theater mode footage of someone that I thought was a cheater on console. And that video, as well as some clips that I posted on Twitter, actually got a decent amount of traction, but the community was somewhat split. Well, a content creator, Obstinate, and I'll leave his links in the description down below, got a one-on-one interview with that exact same cheater, John. And in that interview, he talks about how he's cheating and how exactly his console cheats work.
Does it detect dead bodies or no?
No. So it's just indicated. Here, I won't shoot the bot. It's just indicated off where the pink dot is. Now, it's a little, like, frustrating when people are on points because it'll also drag to, like, bomb sites. If a bomb site's pinged, it's, like, almost impossible.
So can you do this on PlayStation 2 or is it only Xbox?
Oh, yeah, you can do it on PlayStation and Xbox. So when people, that's why when LunchTime was saying I just queue the PlayStation lobbies because there's nobody, they can't do it on PlayStation, I was like, yes, they can.
So you're doing this through an Elgato from your Xbox that's capturing the screen?
I'm doing it from an Elgato from my PC, but it's running through my Xbox. I only started doing this season. I was tired of last season of just all the Zimmers and the Zens, and that's why when LunchTime thinks he's getting you banned, I'm like, buddy, you're gonna have to also get every Zimmer on Rainbow Six Siege banned and every Zimmer on Call of Duty banned.
So basically, so if somebody's having like crazy movement on you, like
like if somebody's snaking the head glitch, like it's gonna be much harder to kill them because the pink dot will go in and out of radius. But yeah, obviously it won't be impossible because that pink dot will track onto the last place that they just crouched at, and I'll just continuously spray at it until they repeat their head. I mean, it's a little better than a soft aim, honestly. Because I mean, like if you looked at LunchTime's tweet, it looks pretty good. And he was like, that's why he even said, he commented, he was like, you know, this is scary. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, it's been happening for on CODs. Like this isn't anything brand new.
So ACR is doing the exact same thing?
Yeah. I have the same exact settings as him on right now. Like these are his settings.
So I wanted to take this video to go over some good things and some bad things that we learned from this interview. And shortly to explain how I understand that this cheat works is that gameplay from the console is being broadcasted either through a capture card like an Elgato or something like remote play. And so the footage of the console gameplay is being sent to the PC. The PC has a software that reads the screen, reads the red dots, and reads the character models. And then the controller is plugged into the PC through remote play or something like that. And that same screen reading software uses the controller that's plugged into the PC to help aim towards the targets that it's reading. And with that being said, the good things that we learned from this interview is that the entry to console cheating is relatively high. He said that in total he spent about $600 to get all of his cheats set up, and that there were also a ton of tweak settings that needed to be done in order to like actually have the cheating software work. To be completely honest, like going through all that trouble when cheating on PC is easier and cheaper is honestly sad. And while there definitely still will be people that use this method to cheat, I'm hoping it'll be way less common than it is on PC because it's, like I said, harder to set up. And the vast majority of people that prefer playing on console do so because it's easier. So I could rant all day long about how dumb it is that somebody comes to console and uses that to cheat, and how absolutely stupid it is that on the platform that people are going to escape the PC cheaters, they're bringing cheats over. I just could not ever imagine doing something like that. But like I said, that's not what I'm here to rant about. The next good thing that we learned from this interview is that it's not a perfect cheating system. It's all based off of what the screen is able to read, as well as like the color detection, so the dots that are above the players. Consoles are not compromised. Nobody's in the game files and able to get like true wall hacks or true aimbot or anything like that. And that's a good thing. Like aside from people like this guy who will spend $600 to get a little bit of help with his aim, like you watching this video will probably never run into somebody using this cheat ever. It seems like the only time you'll run into this is if you're somebody who plays with console crossplay on and is diamond or above and unlucky enough to get in a lobby with this guy or his friends. So while this is a scary cheat and the future of it is even scarier, I wouldn't rush to panicking or like throwing your Xbox away or something like that. And on top of that, with it not being a completely perfect cheat, you cannot play it by like a long slide or snaking or something like that throws off your character model and throws off like the dot that's above. Ideally, if you could run like cold-blooded or something that wouldn't have your red name or red dot show up, that would pretty much get rid of this cheat altogether. But that won't happen because that's not in the competitive rule set. But that's something to keep in mind later when we talk about other ways to counter this cheat or get rid of this cheat entirely. But another good thing that we learned from this interview is that it's super easy to spot this. The one that stood out to me the most is right here, where the aim snapped on a target while he wasn't even ADS'd. This also happened during the interview right here. So at least purely from like a manual detection standpoint, it's super easy to spot these players. Now, the thing is, will Activision do anything about these reports? And that's to be determined. I've sent all the proof that I have to Activision. So right now it's just a waiting game to see if they're going to take action or if this is something that won't be punished at all. Now, there are a few really bad things that we learned from this interview. The first is that since this is on console and through a third-party software, it will go on undetected by Ricochet, and cheating reports probably won't work. I'm thinking the best thing that we can do right now is try to make Call of Duty and Activision aware that this is a thing that is happening, and to take a closer look at reports that happen on console. And honestly, this is why I'm making videos like this and posting about it online, because the more awareness that we can get that this is actually happening, the more likelihood that there will be that something will be done. Another thing to keep in mind is that while this cheating is not perfect, it's also the worst that it'll ever be. Cheating in video games is now like $1 million industry, making more and more money by the day, and even the cheaters are profiting from it themselves. So the software that we're seeing right now, like I said, is the worst that it's ever going to get. There are probably people right now working on improving this software, finding the optimal settings, and that actually is terrifying. The scary thing to me is that not only can the aimbot aspect get more advanced, so could the smooth aim, meaning that's not impossible that a totally undetected version of this down the road could look real and go completely under the radar and be completely undetected by either the Ricochet anti-cheat or even human eyes that might be watching it. So to be honest, that's the main part that scares me, is the future of what this might look like. Like, yes, hopefully Activision will take some action or maybe get rid of remote play or something like that we might go into a little bit later on in this video. But just imagine what this is going to look like in 10 to 15 years down the road. If there's not like a complete overhaul of how console gaming or FPS gaming works, this is probably eventually going to take over. And the last bad thing that I picked up from this interview is that his reasoning for using the cheat was to combat keyboarders or Zimmers, which is a different form of console cheating where people use keyboard and mouse with aim assist because the input is registered as a controller. My understanding of this is that it goes through a hardware device, so it doesn't even need to go to a PC or something like that. And it's also something that I called out in a previous video, but this back and forth of cheaters becoming cheaters because they run into cheaters is just kind of a slippery slope. And honestly, a fallacy to this guy's argument. Honestly, if he's watching this video, I hope he wakes up to how backwards his thinking is. Like, he started doing this console aimbot as a way to get back at the people that are zimming, but then ends up using the aimbot against me and my friends who are just trying to play ranked play legit. And if he's using the software against us, that means he's using it against a ton of other people that are playing the game legit, which might lead some of those people to wanting to cheat like himself. So stop trying to justify your reasoning for doing something like this. So either stop doing it altogether or just admit the fact that you're a cheater, you have been a cheater this whole time, and you're cheating because you want to cheat. Anyways, what can we do about this right now? So I've already sent all the proof that I have to Activision. So in that regard, the rest is up to them on how they want to handle this. To be honest, if this player does end up getting banned, he'll likely just make a new account and continue cheating. So although I hope that does happen, it's most likely just a band-aid solution. Realistically, they might need to get rid of remote play or anything that allows you to use a controller connected to a PC on console. At least in ranked play or other competitive modes, that might be a temporary solution. The only problem is it's a shame because there are some people that actually use remote play or even devices like Cronus's and Zims for their accessibility functions, not for cheating. So this would likely be another example of cheaters ruining things for everyone else. But that's my guess on how to fix this problem. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Do you think that this console cheat is something to worry about? And how would you solve it if you were given the opportunity? But anyways, thank you all for watching this video. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I will catch you next time at lunchtime.